Hello, my name is Andy Wolff, and I'm running as a candidate for councillor in Current River Ward. And with me is Kim Coreau.
And I'm running for candidate at large in the City of Thunder Bay's municipal election 2014.
And on March 17th, both Ms. Coreau and myself did a presentation on having a plebiscite on whether or not we should have an event center. And we wanted it for this municipal election because we feel that people should have a say in big projects. And on April 12th, City Council decided that they didn't want to have a plebiscite. So I took it upon myself as a candidate while I was going door to door to do a public vote to see what people wanted to, whether or not they wanted to have an event center or not. And the question I asked was, are you in favor of building the event center at this time? The key things that I want to note here is the people that did say yes basically said that they were in favor of a plebiscite regardless of the fact that they wanted an event center. The people that said no were more concerned that this wasn't the time, not that they didn't want one ever, but they just didn't want it at this time. So I interviewed 869 residents, and they were asked that question, and 402 were in favor, 467 were not in favor. This meant that 46 were in favor and 54% were not in favor. And that's kind of significant because those results directly differ from what the City of Thunder Bay did in their survey, where more than 68% of Current River Ward residents were in favor of the event center. So I'm of the belief that I think that we still need to have a plebiscite. I think this is important so that we could, basically eliminate this ambiguity. Let's eliminate the divisiveness, and let's move forward. One of the things about this event center is the fact that a lot of people are in favor of it because of public funding from other levels of government. And in particular, the city manager, Tim Camisso, was saying that we are going to be getting funding from the Build Canada Fund, or we are supposed to. So what I did was I wrote a number of emails to the Build Canada Fund to find out whether or not we did qualify. So when I did write to them in June 23rd, I wrote, I'm a candidate running in the 2014 municipal election in Thunder Bay. If I get on City Council, I would like to have a handle on a number of things regarding this program. At the present time, our present City Council is inquiring about federal and provincial funding for a proposed event convention center. I have a number of questions in this regard. When is the deadline for applying for this funding, and does the hockey arena combined with an event convention center qualify for the Build Canada Fund? They responded back to me, and what they did say was that the sports and recreation facilities are not an eligible category under the NBCF, which is the new Build Canada Fund. So that obviously differs from what we've been told by the City Council and the City Manager. So I did write to them, and I wrote, Dear members of City Council, I've been inquiring about funding eligibility with regards to the proposed event center. Of course, it was mentioned the federal portion is anticipated to come from the new Build Canada Fund. I put my email correspondence in uppercase, and that's what I did so that they could read that. And the response I had back from Mr. Camisso was, Mr. Wolff, I believe you're looking at projects that fall under only the national infrastructure component or the provincial territorial infrastructure component. Under the Community Improvement Fund, eligible project categories include major projects, projects supporting culture, tourism, sport, and recreation. And so I decided to respond back to him by thanking him for his response, and then I asked him, is there a link that you could provide me regarding this, because I wanted to see it myself in writing. And he responded back, I will try to find that. I have a hard copy of the materials. That was back in July 7th. And so then what I did was I wrote back to the Build Canada Fund, noting that there was a contradiction between what they were saying and what our city administration was saying with funding. But I also referred to the gas tax fund. And they responded back by saying, thanks for your correspondence on July 11th. In response to your two questions, is this a new Build Canada component? The federal gas tax fund is part of the new Build Canada plan as the new Build Canada Fund. And the second question I asked was, does sports and recreation under that link cover some aspect of funding aside from the event center, convention center, or areas? And they responded, under the federal gas tax fund. Here is an extract of the Canada-Ontario Administrative Agreement for that fund. And they listed all the things that were eligible. With sports infrastructure, yes, it is eligible. However, it is for only amateur sports infrastructure, including facilities, including arenas, which would be used as the home of professional sports or major hockey teams are not included in this. Now, there's a big anticipation that an AHL team is coming here. There's a big anticipation that we are going to have an anchor tenant with the Thunderwolves if they're not here. And these are things that concern me because the Thunderwolves are not going to be using this event center as a regular anchor, as they were saying. And the AHL team is a professional team, so they would be ineligible to be using this arena based on what I'm seeing here with the federal gas tax fund. So I have questions to ask. I would like to put a question out to Mr. Commisso. Where is this funding and how will this arena be funded? And I will hand off the ball to Kim and she will elaborate a little bit more on this.
We're not trying to scare citizens, we're trying to inform citizens. Whether you're opposed to the event center or whether you support the event center, you should be informed by council, administration, our city manager, as well as candidates that actually do the research on these phases. I read through phase 3. I think one of the most important things that I found concerning was the fact that even the day-to-day operating functions of the event center wouldn't even be done by anybody in Canada, let alone Thunder Bay. It will be done by an American company. The gas tax fund alone is something as well that we should be concerned with because we do not qualify if we bring the AHL into town. The new Building Canada Fund as well is kind of a competition between municipalities. These municipalities will bring forth their infrastructure needs such as water, sewer, roads, anything of that sort, and we are applying for funding for an event center that may or may not actually qualify. So are we wasting our opportunity to actually put this question forward to Infrastructure Canada? Are we actually applying needlessly? We need to ask council this. I am currently neutral on the subject. Nothing has swayed me yet, but it's because I have more questions, and so many things in phase 3 have left my concerns unanswered. But for now, I suggest to every citizen to show up on Wednesday to the Italian Cultural Center at 6 p.m. The doors open to actually see and hear about phase 3 at the info session. There will be consultants, there will be city administration and council members available to answer any questions that you have. I will be attending. I'm sure Andy Wolff will be attending. As many candidates as possible hopefully will be attending. And I suggest and implore to all citizens of Thunder Bay, do your research, become informed, and make an informed decision as to whether you support or oppose the event center. Thank you very much.
Thank you.